My dear students, even in your Re-NEET 2026 examination, there will be a lot of questions wherein you will have to guess the options very intelligently. And here in this particular session, I'll be letting you know some tips and tricks by means of which you can guess the options even in the NEET examination, even in the JEE examination, right? But you have to guess it very intelligently, right? 3 to 4 things I'm going to tell you in this particular session. So listen to me very carefully. The session is going to be very short and precise. So watch this till the end because definitely you'll be getting benefited out of all the things which I'll be letting you know in this particular session. Knowing that cracking any sort of competitive examination does not only need the hard work, it needs some smart work too, right? So hard work we have been doing by taking the marathons, following the question practice, etc., etc. Some smart work is needed too while cracking some competitive examination, right? And one thing, whatever things I'll be telling you in this particular session, my dear students, one request I have: do not use these guessing strategies in your entire paper. Do not use these guessing strategies in all the 180 questions. Do not do that, right? First of all, when you receive the paper, try solving all the questions which you already know. And in the last 15 to 20 minutes, right? Whatever questions you were not able to solve, try guessing the options intelligently with the help of the tricks that I'm going to give you right now. And at the end of this particular session, I'll tell you some other important things as well. So be with me till the end. My dear students, the first thing that you have to keep into your mind while you guess the options in your any competitive examination. Trick number 1. The unit value words that gets repeated the most is usually the correct option. This is something which I believe most of the students already know. Now, what it means, how do we apply all this? Let's have a look in certain questions so that you'll understand what exactly it means. First of all, if you look at this particular question, which has been asked in NEET 2023, look at this particular question. I'm not going to read the question. I'll just look at the options. My dear students, option number 1, increases, option number 2, decreases, option number 3, increases, option number 4, increase. So first of all, I'll be eliminating option number 2, right? Because where do you see the repeated word? Increase, increase, increase. So the answer is going to be either A or B or C or D, right? I'm going to eliminate this B right here. Now, among A, C, D, which one to prioritize? My dear students, if you look carefully, here you have got 9, here you have got 6, here you have got 9, here you have got 3. So 9 is getting repeated again. Perfect. But this is not our option. So I'll go with option number D here in this particular question. Okay. And if you look at the correct option, yes, it's option number D only. Okay. My dear students, if I look at the next question, I'm not going to read the question. No, I'm just going to look at the options. Okay. See, the unit here is angstrom. The unit here is picometer. So angstrom, I'm eliminating right here. Now, the answer is going to be B, C, or D. Now, which one to guess exactly? If you look at the values, 1.5, 15.8, 158.7, and 158.7. Over here, do you see the numbers getting repeated? Yes. Right? Since A cannot be the answer, so it's going to be B. That's going to be my answer here in this particular question. If I look at the third question, my dear student, again, the question has been asked in your NEET 2022. Again, I'll use the same trick. Okay? See where the options are matching exactly. My dear students, when I look at the options, I can see option number C and D are matching. So it's neither going to be A nor it's going to be B. So SC and negative, SC and negative, F negative, F negative. Now, the difference is in these. Oxalate, C and negative, oxalate. So which one to prioritize among C and D? Now, if you look at this one, this is C and negative, this oxalate. Here also it was C and negative, this oxalate. Since this cannot be the answer, so my only option is, that's option number C. I'll go with option number C here. Perfect. So if you look at the answer is going to be option number C. Okay. Again, I'm telling you, these are the tricks by means of which you can guess the options intelligently, right? This is going to work in majority of the cases, but in some cases, even this is not going to work. Perfect. So before using this technique in your examination, my dear students, I would want you guys to use these techniques in the mock test which you are writing nowadays. Whatever mock test you are writing nowadays. First, when you write the mock test, try doing all the questions which you already know. And in the last 10 to 15 minutes, the questions which you were not able to solve, try use these tricks. Perfect. In those questions, I'm pretty much sure they are going to help you out a lot. For sure. Right? I won't say all the questions you will be able to guess correctly with the help of these techniques, but some of the questions definitely you are going to get right, for sure. All right, moving on to the second trick, people. This is something which I believe all the students would be knowing too. When there is a relation shown between the formulas and the only difference lies in the sign, those options often tend to be correct. What does it mean? For example, this is the question has been asked in your NEET 2023. I'm not looking at the question, I'll just look at the options. My dear students, do you see these are the formulas that are given? Relation between delta H and delta U. If you do forget, if you do not remember the relation, then you can guess the options. So first of all, here it is delta H plus U is equal to delta NR. Here the option is delta H is equal to U minus delta NGRT. Delta H is equal to U plus delta NGRT. So I would say these two options are similar here. These two options are similar here. So correct option. So here you are going to eliminate A, you are going to eliminate D. Now it's going to be B and C. Now here you have got 50% probability of getting your answer correct. I won't say you'll be having 100% probability of getting the answer correct here. 50% probability you are having right now by eliminating option number 1 and option number D. 50% probability will be that your answer would be correct. Okay? Because you're already eliminating A and D. Similarly, my dear students, if you look at this particular question, again, look at all these results. Which two formulas do you find similar? Since B and C I find similar, so A and D I'm eliminating first of all, right? Now again here you have got 50% probability to get the correct answer because the correct answer is either going to be B or C. Perfect, it's B or C. 50% probability you are having now to get the options correct because you already eliminated A and D. Now similarly, my dear students, this is the most important one. Which, I mean, this particular trick I've observed in all the JEE mains examinations, all the NEET examinations, so you can have a look on this as well. In numerical options, a value that is the largest or the smallest may not be correct. So basically, extreme high value, extreme low value is generally not the correct answer. Extreme high value, extreme low value is generally not the correct answer. Therefore, try to check those options which are closer to these values. For example, this is the question again asked in your NEET examination. Okay, I'm not reading the question at all. I've got nothing to do with the question. If I look at the options, the options are numerical values, right? Now look at all the numerical values and eliminate the smallest and largest value. Which one is smallest? This is the smallest value. So it cannot be my answer. Which is the largest value? This is the largest value. It cannot be the answer. The correct answer is either going to be A or B. So again, there is now 50% probability that your option, which you are going to mark here, right, that can be correct. Now, again, since there is 50% probability, now I would want you guys to read the question again and find some more hints from the question that gives you more probability of guessing the answer right from A and B, right? And if you look at the correct answer, it's option number B here. Similarly, look at this one. Nothing to do what the question says. Look at the options. Eliminate the smallest and the highest value. The smallest, as I can see, is 24. The highest value I can see is 30. So this cannot be, this cannot be. Now it's either going to be B or D. Again, 50% probability. Now again, read the question and find some more hints from the question so that your probability even increases of giving the correct answer. So answer is either going to be B or D. As you can see, it's option number B here. Perfect. Similarly, my dear students, look at this particular question. Again, which one is the smallest value? This one, eliminate it. Which one is the largest value? This one, eliminate it, right? The answer is going to be either A or D. The answer is either going to be A or D. So as you can see, option number D is the correct answer of this particular question. Similarly, we will look at this particular question. Again, the similar sort of question, right? So first of all, the highest and the lowest values, you are going to eliminate, leave them aside. So highest is 9.5. This cannot be the answer. Lowest is 1.25. This cannot be my answer. Now my answer lies between C and D. Again, read the question, find some more hints. If you are able to, then your probability right now of getting the correct one is 50%. Now, if you are trying to get more options, more hints from the question, right, by using little more brain, perfect, then your probability can even increase in selecting C and D as well. Perfect. And when you check it out, the answer is your option number C. And my dear students, moving on to the next one. For example, this is the question. Again, NEET 2022. Look at this question. Lowest and the maximum value. Eliminate them. Lowest is which one? This is the lowest one. Eliminate. Which one is the maximum? This one. Eliminate. So my correct is either going to be C or D. Now, if you look at the options, it's option number C. That would be the correct answer of this particular question. Similarly, my dear students, again the question asked in NEET 2022. Again, eliminate the highest value and eliminate the lowest value. The answer is either going to be this or this, A or D. If you look at the answer, it's A, right? This is the most important trick, my dear students, which you have to keep in your mind, right? But again, I'm telling you, do not use all these tricks in all the questions. No. First, you do your paper completely. If there are some 5, 10 questions left and you want to attempt more by guessing intelligently, then use these tricks in those 5, 10 questions which are left at the end. Okay? Perfect. See, guys, again, what we have to do, the extreme high value and the extreme low value. These cannot be my answer. My answer lies in C and D. And if you look at it, it's option number D. That is the correct answer. Okay? Again, 50% probability you have now to get the option correct. Similarly, look at one more question. Do you see how many questions have been asked based on the same trick? Perfect. Again, the question is your NEET 2021 question. Extreme high, extreme low. These two cannot be. Now, there is again 50% probability to have your answer, correct answer from option number C and D. And if you look at the option number D, that's the correct answer. Right? Similarly, people, look at this one. Look at this one. This is one more question. This is one more question. Again, you can use the same trick. Again, you can use the same trick. And do let me know its answer in the comment section. This is going to be your homework. Do you understand? This is going to be your homework. Do not solve the question. Do not solve the question with the help of concept. No. Just use the trick that I gave you and do guess your option. Do guess your option in the comment section. Okay? And then let's see whether that's the correct one or not. Right? And my dear students, at the same time, the last one. You'll find a lot of questions. Wherein there'll be two statements given, statement 1, statement 2, and you will have to check which statement is correct, which statement is incorrect. First of all, these sort of questions you are able to solve. But generally what I have observed in majority of these questions wherein you have to check whether statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is correct, generally, in these sort of questions, both the statements are most of the times correct. Most of the times, both the statements are correct. Right? Okay? So all the above, or both S1 and S2 are true or false, usually are the correct option. Okay? All the above, number 1. Number 2, both S1, S2 are true or both S1, S2 are false. They are generally the correct ones. For example, well, these are some questions, like these sort of questions we're talking about. Perfect. Generally, I'm not telling you in all the questions. Generally, in most of the questions, you'll find S1, S2 true or S1, S2 false. Right? S1, S2 true, S1, S2 false. The answer lies between B and C. Okay? For example, one more question, NEET 2022. The answer lies between both are true or both are false. Right? Generally, I'm saying. First of all, try solving this question with the help of the approach, which you already know, with the help of the concept. If you're not able to do that, then you can use this one. Right? Similarly, if you look at this other question, again, either both are true or both are false. So answer is between B and C. Right? Answer is between B and C. Again, NEET 2021, the answer is between B and C. My dear students, what you have to do, you really have to choose very wisely while you guess the options. Again, I'm going to tell you the last thing at the end. What is that? Do not use all these tricks in the entire paper. Do not do that. Avoid that. But at the end, in the last 10 minutes, if you find there are some 5, 10 questions left, wherein you would want to guess the options intelligently, properly, then these are some of the tricks, my dear students. All right? And you need to use these tricks. Even before the May 3rd examination, I had posted a similar video that time also, and it had worked for a lot of students. And again, this is going to work this time as well. Perfect. But again, I'm repeating the same thing. Do not use this in the end. And at the same time, today at 9 p.m. on this particular channel, I'm going to take one very, very, very important session in chemistry. My dear students, as you know, last week I had posted a video wherein I had given you chapter-wise most important topics. And I told you 90% of the paper will come from those topics. And today at 9 p.m., I'll be taking a marathon, those particular topics. The duration is going to be 2 hours. Be with me today exactly at 9 p.m. and you are going to love it. And my dear students, I'm telling you, your 90% paper will be from the topics which I've given you already in that particular video. And the topics that I gave you in that particular video, I'll be taking its live session today at 9 p.m. on this particular channel. Right? And at the same time, if you are looking for the All India mock tests, my dear students, Unacademy has come up with free All India mock tests wherein you can compare your ranks with all the other students across the country. So to take these mock tests, the link is there in the description box of this particular video. Click on the link and take these mock tests because they're absolutely free for you. Okay? So take the benefit of these mock tests, right? Because that's how you'll get to know where you are lying at this particular point of time when it comes to your Re-NEET 2020. Perfect. So my recommendation would be definitely to go for what? To go for these all India mock tests, right? Which are free for everyone. And I'll see you exactly at 9 p.m. today. Till then, you take care. God bless you all and love you all, my dear. Bye bye.